Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. Welcome guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about The New Mutants, issue number 4, written by Chris Claremont, art by Sal Buscema. And this is a fascinating standalone story. The whole premise of the story is that we have this guy, he's like a stalker, that calls Stevie Hunter and just really creeps her out. Like, they never get into what this person tells her in the first place, but they really disturb her. And Stevie Hunter is the person that's actually taking care of the New Mutants at the mansion in the first place. So we have Stevie, she's dealing with one of these calls. She totally freaks out and she starts talking to Karma about the situation. She has this dance studio. And when they go out, they cross paths with this young kid that is one of the students there, but he shouldn't be there in the first place. I couldn't find his name anywhere. Peter Bristow. So sort of get the idea, like, spoilers, it's this kid, the redhead weirdo. So we cut to the New Mutants that are really having a hard time trying to be kids in the first place. And they're in this strange place, the X-Mansion. They had to deal with Xavier, that was a broad queen that was going to implant eggs in them. And they were going to become broad queens. And now Xavier, like, he's brought back from the dead. He's got a clone body. And he has to deal with the fact that now he has these new students. And he's sort of on the fence with it. Like, he's not like, hey, great, I got these new students, new mutants, I'm going to help these kids. He's like, okay, look, if you want to stay, I'll help you guys train and learn how to use your powers. But, like, he's like not super happy with this whole situation. So Xavier gets wind of this whole situation. Stevie is having to deal with this dude that's calling her, this creep, making these disturbing calls. He's like, hey, kids, since you're really young, I think this is a good way to start training and using your powers. Find out who this stalker is in the first place, because that's what a responsible adult would do, send kids to investigate something like that. So obviously our young mutants are all hands-on with the situation. Sunspot's able to purchase a apparatus that can track calls. They find a telephone booth where the call was made from. Here, something really, really disturbing happens, at least within my mind, because Chris Claremont doesn't write anything down what happens in the first place. But Wolfsbane uses her powers to sniff out who possibly is the person responsible. He says, oh my God, they did something terrible in there. What the hell did that guy do in that booth? Like, I'm not going to say what's on my mind, but he's probably a pervert and he did some really disgusting stuff that really grossed out Wolfsbane in the first place. So they're able to track down the ones responsible. Obviously, it's this kid, Peter Bristow. And trying to capture him in the first place, we get this really awesome situation where Cannonball tries to save this family from this kid. He's escaping on his car. He's going to run over this family. Cannonball saves them, but then he's trying not to get them killed because he doesn't know how to use his powers very well, and slam this mom and their child into a building or something like that. So he really has to think his way out of this, and it's really well written and well done here. But obviously what happens is they capture this Peter Bristow, and here's where the story gets really interesting. So Xavier tries to get in this kid's mind to see what makes him tick and what pushes him to do this. He can't get in. He tells Danny Moonstar, use your powers. Here we discover for the first time that not only she can see people's worst fears, but also their greatest desires. So the kid's totally in love with Stevie, and that sort of makes sense. But here's where things get really dark and, like, Chris Claremont, whoa. So the kid gets beaten by his parents, but also he starts beating himself because he falls in love with his teacher and knows that this is wrong. And I thought to myself, this is so freaking messed up. I feel like this is a super good way to start off and to create this really interesting villain. Like, I'm not sure if this character ever pops up again, but this dude that's in love with her teacher, and he beats the shit out of himself, and he's doing creepy things in telephone booths and calling her at any time. It's a pretty heavy story that revolves around kids in the 4th issue of an ongoing series. I have to tip my hat off to Chris Claremont. He really took a risk for a filler issue. So I'm going to leave this video here. Hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.